I'm here with today's winner of the invitation race of the 13ft Skiffs, Gemma. Congratulations on the mighty Ebix.
Thank you.
Sailing with your brother again, beat everything else. I know you guys have been training.
Yeah, we were focusing on the second lap, just preserving ourselves for tomorrow as well. So we lost a little bit maybe, but it's all right.
Fingers crossed. What do you like? You like the big breeze, the little breeze, anything?
Everything, but we really enjoy the big winds, so it's meant to be windy for the next 2 days. Strong northeasterly, so we're hoping to do well in that, and yeah.
Great stuff. Here with Michael Quirk from Domino's, today's winner of the invitation race. Michael, how was it?
It was good. It was good. Pretty nice breeze, not too much, but good enough to get going, and it was a good hit out. Yeah.
And how are you guys and your team shaping up for this week?
Good, I think. I think speed's good, and we're all feeling pretty good. And prep's been pretty good, so we'll just see how we go.
Hello and welcome to the 2024 Australian 16ft and 13ft Skiff National Titles hosted by the St George Sailing Club. I'm Jimmy Bury, and joining me in commentary today we've got Andrew Dolly Davola and the three-time national champion Clint Bowen, the bozo, man who loves a chat.
Thank you, mate. G'day, Jimmy.
How you going, boys?
Very well.
Excellent. Nice and fruity out here, to say the least, today. Dole, what's the weather prognosis?
Well, as we like to say in Sydney, we've got a black nor'easter. So classic Sydney nor'easter. Currently, we're looking at about 20 to 24 knots, probably gusting 24 knots. A little earlier, we're getting a couple of bigger gusts. The nor'easter's been in since about 9 o'clock this morning. Just starting to get a bit of cloud cover and a bit of haze, so be interesting to see what this breeze does, Jimmy. But we've got an incoming tide all afternoon, which going to make it a little bit easier for the sailors with the tide coming in with the breeze direction. So not the huge chop that we get normally here when you get the outgoing tide, but we've got plenty on. So sit back, viewers. I think we're going to be in for plenty of action and maybe a bit of carnage. Fortunately, one race today, so boats who may get damage won't miss a second race. And we're looking at a 4-lapper for the 16s, about a 1.4 mile beat, and we'll be going to the top 4 times. And
yeah, as you said, we're nor'east, so we're starting down here in Woolooware Bay, which is to the south of the club, and then working their way up to Towra, which is renowned as the graveyard from hell in a run-out tide nor'easter. So yeah, fingers crossed we get one of them later on in the week, but I don't know what it's doing. Those are your memories of sailing down here.
Mate, I reckon these guys are going to be a big sigh of relief that it's not a run-out tide. Because, as you know, when it runs out here, it gets very messy at the top. It gets scary, in fact.
Even for the best.
Find a hole and dive into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of squeezing going on, I can tell you that.
It's like jumping into a swimming pool with no water in it.
Yeah.
But so far, looking at we've got most of the fleet on the water at the moment here, Jimmy, and viewers can see it on screen. Breeze has just taken a little ebb for the time being. Everyone seems to be handling it pretty well at the moment. We've seen a couple of good spinnaker runs. Everyone's sort of testing out the waters and seeing what they've got to deal with. They've had a little short beat just to see where the shifts are, hopefully. And Clint, on this, you've done plenty of sailing down here, as of Jimmy and I, but in this nor'east track, where do you like to sail on this beat?
Well, I'd say, mate, and I spoke to the guys at early on the beach, and there's a bit of a balance here between being at the pin and running out of runway. As you know, it's tight, or sailing closer up to the boat, starting up near the boat, and trying to give you more runway and getting over into that Georges River shore. That's traditionally where you would sail.
Yeah, that left-hand side.
That left-hand side.
Yeah, most definitely. And we'll see what sort of line Peter Timworth, our PRO, sets today. He's renowned for setting a fairly even line. So that should give the sailors some scope to start where they like on the line. But yeah, often, as you say, if you get a bit of pin bias, start down at that pin end and go as fast as you can to that shore and hail water and hope for the best.
Yeah, and there's a bit of courage there.
Plenty of courage.
A lot of courage, yeah.
Yeah. And Clint, your boys, obviously you've sponsored the fluid skiff and you've handed it over for the national title, and the boys have had a couple of sails. Do you want to talk to us a bit about the fluid team?
Mate, well, there's some pedigree on there, definitely. Dave O'Connor, who did very, very well last year in the Noakes, and unfortunately lost a rudder pin in the last race. And then there's Fang Warren, who's been sailing with Woody on the 18, and Phil Harmer. I will say, though, that their first ride out, Phil was on the sheet, and they said Phil went forward to fix something, and Fang took the sheet and said, and when Phil came back, he said, "Mate, you're not on the sheet anymore. I think you're in the bow."
Fang got the main sheet and never let go.
Never let go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And two pretty decent sized blokes, right? Phil and Fang. They're decent sized boys. They should revel in this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they're decent sized boys, Dolly. I'm going to leave that to you.
Now it's a family show, Clint. But yeah, they've got a bit of swinging weight, and Dave O'Connor, renowned as a legendary boat handler. Right?
Absolutely.
So I'd imagine they'll have absolutely no nerves and no trouble dealing with this today.
Well, yeah, I think there's plenty of horsepower there, but I think, across the fleet, you look across these fleet now, and most of the sailors are strong. They're fit. You're looking at the screen there at one of the big guys of rock and roll,
and fit,
and yes,
big and fit.
You said it, Dolly.
So put the viewers. That's Paulie McKenzie in the middle of the Cunninghams there. Very, very experienced sheet hand, and certainly known for his swinging weight.
Yes,
loves the breeze too.
And those who watch us regularly will know Paulie, or Sausage as we like to call him. He's often here with Jimmy and I on the commentary, but he's on a full-time ride this year, so we're missing his banter. So we've got to give him a bit back.
Well, he went where the big money was.
Yeah, so that's Nick Connor on the helm and Tom Quigley filling in for this series in the bow. Tom, a very experienced 18-foot skiff sailor.
And there seems to be a bit of flow from 18 skiffs. They seem to be wanting to sell 16s. Is there anything in that, Jimmy?
No, I just see the group of guys at the 18s, barring obviously Woody, are really young and up-and-coming guys, and a lot of them have, they've just got new boats this year, and they just love sailing. Like, it's a real treat to see these kids crossing over different fleets. You got Tom, for example. You got I think Finn Roderick's is sailing on one of the boats. There's Fang, obviously. Fang,
and then we've got a whole team on one boat, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's great to see, and the 18s has got, as I said, like a lot of young guys coming through, and a lot of struggles at the moment. But obviously the 18s is a different beast. But they're coming along in leaps and bounds, and obviously jumping into this.
Just going off screen, we were just looking at the Noakes, which are a St George boat, obviously, and Lee Napton, a multiple champion, along with Peter Mackey and Ricky Bridge. We're looking at them there now. So, look, in these conditions, those three guys are going to be certainly at the front of the pack, we would think, right, boys?
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And they're certainly one of the picks for the series, but if in these sorts of conditions on their home patch, I'd expect them to be looking pretty good today.
Well, you can't discount the speed that Domino's had yesterday either, Dole. Like they were,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, with big Dallas swinging that thing down. So
Yeah. But
yeah.
here's a lot different to Lake Macquarie. Obviously, they're a Belmont team.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see how we go. We're just on screen there with the yellow spinnaker as my young bloke Will in the Employment Hero, one of the very light crews, with Alistair Hunter and George Thompson. So they'll be having some sends downwind today, that's for sure.
And for the people at home, I mean, weight's super important. So, you know, you obviously want it light when it's light, and when it's heavy, you need the horsepower, and more weight means more riding moment and more horsepower, and it just means the skipper can really drive the boat, especially through this short, sharp chop.
And it's safer.
And it's safer.
More importantly, you know, when you get in those little squirrely moments and the pressure's on and you're getting a bit untidy, that extra weight allows you to keep the mast in the sky, and we all know it's pretty slow when you're standing on the centreboard and everyone else is doing 25 knots.
Yeah, Morgo from Belmont, he used to always tell me when it was fresh, he'd always come and see me, and he'd put the mocker on me. He'd say, "Fins down, wins the crown, bozo." Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Shout out, Morgo, I know you're listening.
Probably watching, yeah.
Yeah. I think, what about from Belmont? Who's going to be quick today?
You know, it's a bit of a mix.
Is Rod Carter here?
Yeah, Rod Carter is sailing today in what is he building? Insight building. He'll be good in this sort of breeze, especially I think now that it's just looking to me like it's just dropped off a touch, bit more manageable. He's got a new team this year on the boat, and I actually had a chat with him in the park earlier. He's looking forward to a good regatta this week, so he's pumped. He said he's here to have some fun. But
Well, he's got Flano and Stoney with him, so you'd have no problems there.
yeah, I know. And I said that to him. You know, super experienced crew.
Definitely.
And but they'll be having a great time. He said the big difference this year is the banter on the boat. It's a different vibe. They're enjoying it, but in doing that, everything's sort of coming together.
Yeah, and if you're having fun, you sail better.
For sure. I think others to watch from Belmont will be Contender Sailcloth, Will Howard, East Coast. They should be good. And SKE Electrical.
Yeah.
You know, we were saying yesterday, Clint. You know, the quality of the fleet this year, it's insane. You know, quality of the boats, the quality of the sailors. It makes it pretty hard for us to find someone to put the mocker on, doesn't it, Jimmy? The commentator's curse.
Bozo saw the writing on the wall and decided to hand the keys to the fluid over to Davey O'Connor, mate.
Yeah, well, Clint will be picking the fluid today for sure to take care
I'm
of his
definitely
team.
on the management team today.
Yeah.
Part of the commentary team, loving it out here, boys. Thank you for having me, actually.
Pleasure to have you here, Clint, with your expert wisdom.
Oh.
And so, who do we like? Are we taking one pick, Jimmy, today, or we take a winner and a roughie?
Well, since it's Clint's first time on the boat, we'll let him pick one only,
we'll have
and we can have a few because we're here all week.
We'll hedge our bets.
You'll take a trifecta, will you?
Yeah. And box it at the best.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you like, Clint?
Mate, I'm calling in the fluid today.
Good lad.
Go, boys.
Good lad. He's backing his
Backing
home
the team.
team. And Jimmy, who are you liking today?
Well, as soon as I get three, I'm going to go Noakes.
Yep.
Imagine signage with big Brady Davis on there swinging it down.
Yep.
Good pick.
And, who'd be the third one? Tell you what, go for a bit of a roughie and go Skelcon.
Skelcon, okay.
Skelcon, nice.
Yep. I'm liking my number one pick. Yes, that is. We got the 5-minute warning up. I'm liking Imey today. I'm thinking Imey, Moonen, and who else will I throw in there today? Noakes. Imey, Noonan, and Moonen and Noakes, and I'll have
Say that 3 times quickly, Doug.
really quickly. Box trifecta, please, Jimmy.
Yeah, all right, we'll put it in.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well take a 4th as a roughie.
No.
But yeah, well, I like the Imey, but I'm not going to put the mocker on my mate Robbie just yet. He's struggling to get back, and different parts of the body are hurting him. So.
And how is he going? Because the story is, I don't know if everyone knows, but the story is he hurt himself pretty bad and he's been off the boat.
Yeah, he's back on. Like he feels that the injury, which was his shoulder, has come good. Like he spent the whole of December completely off the booze, treating his body like a proper temple. He never did that when he sailed with me, but that's a different story. But I think I let
You were doing it then.
Well, yeah, of course, mate. You know that. Someone's got to help Craig hold up the bar at Manly Skiff Club. And then he went for a little sail after the last club championship heat at Manly and had a feel of it, and then on a Friday, and then he sailed the Saturday, which was a light day. And he was quite confident with that, and I know they've been out testing him. It's just the biggest problem he's had is because he's been so protective of his shoulder. It's the fear of overreaching to pull the spinnaker in or something like that. But he just had like different parts of his body hurting him than where he thought would be.
The shoulder, But I can tell the viewers he's undergone a self-imposed regime to get himself back on track with help and advice from physio Tira Jensen, who's a member at the club at Manly, and he has worked really, really hard in order to get on that boat for this regatta. And credit to him. He's Jimmy and I know too well, having sailed with Rob, how committed he is. And he's left no stone unturned. I think he's in the park. He's looking fit as a fiddle. Really
he's looking fitter than I've ever seen him. That's for sure. So it's full credit to him.
And I'm going to put a big kudos to all the forward hands out there, because I tell you, I had a go in the bow about 4 weeks ago with Ant King.
Yes, you did.
And there was some payback there, I'm sure. But I will say that is an incredibly physical job. And really credit to all the forward hands. Brent Dennis, I don't know if you're watching, mate, but thank you for all those years of service. I did not realise how hard it is in the bow.
Now, from that, Bozo, I'm thinking that you might be getting back on the boat after this regatta and you're short a forward hand. You're hawking for talent, sucking up to the forward hands union.
No way. No, I've got Dave Burkett. He is probably the pick of the forward hands at Manly, I'd say.
Absolutely, Legend Burkey. Yep, you're really sucking up now.
Not long to go now, guys. About 1 minute 20.
This is very exciting.
That's banter.
Heat 1 of the Australian 16-foot skiff titles, and then not long after this start, the 13-foot skiffs will fire off, and we'll cross between both fleets and try and get a bit of coverage of both. It's going to be a bit hard here today with where we've got a few boundaries of shorelines where we can go.
That's one minute we've got now, and so Pete Timworth has set a very long line on the screen there. You might be able to see not on that shot, maybe down the end. That one you can see the boat with the orange flag right down the far end.
Top of screen.
At the moment, the boats are holding well back, and we've got just over 30 seconds to go. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a clear start here, Clint.
Oh, definitely. You can see Imagines down at the pin end with Imey.
Yeah. And Noakes. Up at the top end here, we've got Insight, Fluid, Tribeca. Actually, we've got Noakes blue down the pin end, and we've got Noakes sort of mid to top of line. So we're lining up, and we're going to have a clean start here.
2.
Yeah, that's nice and clear.
Great start from Ace up towards the boat end, and also SKE Electrical. They've got a blinder at the boat, just ahead of Cunningham's. And a bit of sag in the midline there of the lineup. In the midline, we've got Noakes and Red Pumps with Thurlow Fisher. Modern Concept Construction's a bit further down with Sail Racing. Very even takeoff from the line here. Sue Tech a little further down, along with Fire Stopping. A few stragglers at the back. They've had to tack out, so they're looking for a bit of clear air and a clean lane before they come back.
The one to keep a bit of an eye on, Clint, is Modern Concept Constructions. They've got quite a larger small rig, so...
Right, yeah. Like, just looking at SKE there, I think you've got them on camera, and they're actually ragging already in this sort of 20 knots. So, but they're climbing off fluid, and the rest of the fleet, they're going very, very well there.
Very well, and also Cunningham's who are on screen as well. You can see they're behind SKE, but they're getting through the water quickly and with a bit more height. So Nick Connor and the boys, they're looking in pretty good shape. All the boats to leeward, they're going to have to tack because they're going to run out of depth. So they're going to have to tack before they run out of water down there. So, but at the moment, SKE looking good, and just tacking off the club, I think it's Southerly, along with Imagine. So sort of our lead group at the moment is looking like SKE, Imagine, IME just flipping over there now as well. But for my money, SKE is going to cross everybody, and they'll be leading.
I think I'm with you there, Dolly. SKE's had a blinder up this week. Imagine they've done very well out there close to the shore. They look like they're lifting on that shore.
High on port, yeah, you're right. But SKE is going to cross the fleet with ease. Fluid looking good there, Clint.
Yeah, they are. They're in there. They're in with a chance. But you know, first lap, you settle yourself. You find your rhythm. The adrenaline's still pumping after the start. You just got to find your rhythm and stick to it then. And then it's he who makes the least mistakes wins.
For sure.
So you're right there. Fluids across from Imagine, which is great. I'm pleased about that.
Yeah,
so it looks like the boat ends won that.
Yeah, we're looking at the moment at SKE, bottom of your screen there, and handy lead. We were talking yesterday, viewers who were watching yesterday, about young Banjo Nicholson. Very young, accomplished young sailor. Finding his feet, and here he is leading a heat of the 16 Nationals. So they've tacked over now. Simo tack with fluid.
Good pressure coming down this shore here too, so I think they're going to be in good shape. The guys that have gone further to the south have sort of knocked away to the point.
Some interesting twist profiles we were just looking at then too. Everyone looking a little bit different, probably different crew weights and setting up differently. Imagine signage just tacking away from, they might have had to tack for that starboard tacker there. So they're coming back to the shore, which that's what we were talking about, isn't it, Clint? Keep chipping into this left-hand side.
Yeah, chipping this shore, chip away.
And SKE in company there with Ace and Fluid. And as we were saying before, those boats did start up towards the weather end of the line, windward to middle of line. Fluid having to tack out there, they were getting a bit of a squeeze from Ace.
And these guys will be looking just to find some lines, some clean lines, and try and present themselves in a way that allows them some strategy, especially getting up into the corner here.
Yeah, when you've got that ability to stretch your legs out a bit and find a lane of clear air and just put the bow down and go fast. It's when on this first beat, when the fleet's really compressed and it's hard to find some space. If you can manage to do that, just sneak away a little, makes a massive difference.
Absolutely, Dolly.
So that's SKE as tack. We're talking about chipping back to that left-hand side, so that's what they're doing. Just keeping a loose cover on their opposition, not letting them get to that left side.
Not on screen, right down further back down the field is Fireball have run aground on the eastern side of Woolooware Bay there.
Sorry for the Fireball fans, but yeah, there they are on screen. They've run out of water like we were talking about before. Their centreboards hit the bottom, and now they've capsized. Hopefully, they haven't done too much damage in doing that.
And that's the thing down here. It's a scare actually of all the sandbars that are here.
Yeah,
and you really do hope when they move around you don't get one.
Yeah, they're a bit muddy though, fortunately. So when you do hit, hopefully you can
soft landing.
Sometimes get away with it.
Sorry? Oh, sorry. That's where Wilmot ran around last year. During the
Yeah, we may remember Nathan Wilmot ran aground. Then there was it the round the Bay race.
Yeah, the Botany Bay Regatta last year.
And also what we're looking at now is everyone on the northern shore coming in towards the Georges River Sailing Club, and yeah, we're sailing inside channel markers and stuff here, so people are really pushing the limits of depth to try and make a bit of a gain. I was talking to a couple of the teams on shore saying if you can sneak into this bay, escape the tide, and you come out of here with a pretty good lift. And it is low tide, tide's coming in. Fluid taking a dig, they're doing exactly what I was talking about. They're taking a dig into that left-hand side again, and they're heading back. So you can see the three leaders there. We've got SKE racked up with Ace and Southerly. So Southerly, one of the boats we were talking about yesterday with Sarah Lee, Keegan York and Kurt Warner. Definitely ones to watch in this regatta. Sarah, very accomplished female helm, and two very accomplished fellas sailing with her. Keegan York certainly knows his way around this patch of water, doesn't he, Jimmy?
Absolutely, and not bad on an 18-footer either, steering it.
Indeed, but very experienced sheet hand on the 16s back in the day.
Totally.
Very.
Yeah, especially in a blow.
Yeah.
I think SKE's made a little bit of a
big
ground
gain.
there. Yeah,
Big
massive gains.
Yeah, we're just looking at Sarah and the team on the screen there. Sarah hiking super hard. She'd be lucky to weigh 55 kilos, but that doesn't stop her hiking hard. You can see her pulling on the controls. That's Ace we're looking at there. Lockie Steele, Bryce Edwards and Jerome Watts. Had a quick chat to them in the park as well this morning, Jimmy. They're pretty pumped. They're confident. They look confident.
And great young guys too.
So once again, chipping away to that left-hand side, and
they're coming out of these tacks. These guys are really getting these boats going quickly, straight out of the tacks. You know, that sheet hand's working real hard to get that inertia going straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And there's SKE Electrical. Absolutely opened up a can of whoop on everyone, haven't they?
See ya.
Yeah, they've got a handy little gap, and the other one who's coming into play in this first beat is CJK Design with Darby Jones, another graduate who went through the Flying 11 pathway and stuff from Belmont and sailed it. Great young sailor with Luke Easy and Gilzo, Adam Gilson. And they've come into play. They're probably close to being second now. Moonan, they're sort of chipping away here. Chipping. So they may not have got away super clean, I think, but expect to see them coming through, even though they were one of my picks. They're obviously convincingly defending current state champions, the Moonan.
The Botany Access with Zoe Dransfield, Stretch and Cam McDonald on board there.
Yeah, another team that's just been thrown together for this regatta, but obviously three great sailors. They'll just have to find their legs, and well, a bit of a whoopsie there from Felix Gretsch on sail racing as he did a late duck behind Botany Access, got a bit loose.
Yeah, it's interesting. The sail racing guys, they're probably a pick of the sailors in that sort of lighter conditions. This fresher breeze probably doesn't suit them so much. But are they carrying a protest flag there?
I think it's just come
I
unravelled,
think it might
Bozo.
have just unfurled. Yeah, although that compressed first work, maybe there was a bit of trouble. But yeah, Clint and I were talking pre-broadcast about who we thought had potential for the week, and the forecast for the week looks like it's going to back off considerably. And the Sail Racing boys are my pick. They've been there or thereabouts the last couple of years. They've been bridesmaids, and yeah, in the light of the mid-range, I'm picking them to be one of the boats to watch for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right there, Dolly. I think they just need a good result today. They don't need to podium.
Yeah, the boats will. If we get to the full card of heats, the boats will get to discard a couple of their worst results. But really important just to get runs on the board today, just so that in case down the track you might have a breakage that did not finish, a collision, something, you never know what can go wrong.
Totally.
Also, as Clint alluded to earlier, just get the adrenaline out of you, and you know, I always found the first heat to be the toughest, the
Definitely.
first race.
Settle into your work.
You never had a nervous bone in your body, Bozo.
I was sitting behind two awesome crews, so they did all the work for me.
Always brimming with confidence, Mr. Clint Bowen.
Yeah. Well,
I used to send Doz over to wind him up a bit before the first heat.
and I used to send Ando over to put bets on with you to wind you guys up.
Yeah.
We were just looking at a fantastic drone shot while we were bantering then. Of the SKE, that they are getting through the water like a freight train. Look at that now. So that's a fantastic
that's
shot.
unbelievable.
You can see the twist profile of the head of the mainsail just flicking on and off. Important that these rigs are automatic as much as you can, so that the sheet hands are doing as little work with the main sheet as possible.
We always used to do the least amount of work done.
sheet hand union, but yeah, the idea of the automatic power in the rig of as it powers up and it getting overpowered, that it starts twisting and spilling the power. That overhead shot really showed the rig working well, and those guys are putting the hammer down, and now they've tacked onto a starboard lay to come into this top mark. And
There's enough chop here to make it fruity for them.
Definitely.
making it a bit fruity on the camera cat here, Jimmy.
We've got the
Mate,
windscreen
we
wipers
just
out.
put the wipers on, mate.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Shut the windows, put the wipers on.
And back to your comments there, Dolly, about the rig, is the rig will react so much faster than the human will.
It does.
So you need that rig to be doing the work for you.
Yeah. So for the viewers at home, that's about the combination of the top of the mast bending, and you'll see these boats have what we call a fat head main, so the roach on the top of the main's quite big, so the sail pressure blows that open. And see the boys there, they've eased all the gear. They're going for a nice tidy bear away. We see how they go with the set here. Little bit slow for my liking, but they're playing it very safe.
Very safe.
Very safe, and they've got a handy lead, haven't they, Clint?
A massive lead now. Yeah, you'd want to be more comfortable now. Like this top end of the course, it does get a bit funky. So get yourself settled, get down into the flatter water, and then really put the hammer down.
Yeah, and they've done that now. They've tied up. They are motoring down on starboard jibe. Next round here, we've got Southerly with Zoe and the boys. Oh, Sarah and the boys, sorry. Fantastic to see them in second place early on here.
Second local boat being ace.
Fabulous. Marvellous. You can see the skipper there hanging on to the sheet hand, keeping him in the boat.
Yeah.
CJK.
Next around, and hello, Clint
Hello,
Bowen. Look
I'm in the
who
money
we've got here. Fluid building.
The Bozo bet.
It's a good first.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
we've put the mocker on them.
Oh.
No, they're going to save it. They'll be fine. They'll get it from there. We've just got to get some crewmen on board.
Yeah. I don't know, we should have the camera on this, boys. This is not ideal.
This is what we live for.
Moonen just managed to scrape across their bow, and then we've got Noakes, followed by Tribeca,
Then Tungara.
Tugara, Tommy Cloud, isn't it?
Yep.
Shootech, the young boys from Manly, Botany, Red Pumps, Swell, And
Here's the
Imey a little bit back. They didn't have a great first work. They were looking good early. Looking good early. NFPG and Sail Racing, Cunningham's.
They just saw Moon and have a set, and they pulled it back down. I'm not sure what's going on there.
They got a problem.
Botany in trouble here.
Botany's in big trouble.
Domino's doing turns.
We've also got Modern Concept Construction sort of mid-fleet here at the moment. They had to delay their set to get over the top of the capsized Botany.
Big nose dive.
Look at that.
The punters love that at home.
Just caught the end of that, so that's down the mine shaft they've gone.
Yeah. And it'll sneak up on you here. This is, you know, you're around, you're set, you're going, and you just got to be careful this first half until you get down into the flatter water.
Really keep switched on. So, you know, we're talking about this is an easy day with the tide coming in. So, viewers at home, you can imagine what it'd be like with an outgoing tide. It'd be an absolute graveyard of nose diving boats at that time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see a bit of that action later in the week, boys.
Well, I'm not sure that they actually see on the coverage exactly how rough and how tight these waves are together. And the guys are trying to, dodge the waves around them, get the spinnaker set, lift the bow. They're trying to do a whole lot of work in order. There's another one going down in Cunningham just in front of the
Cunningham's. Oh, jeepers.
Yep.
Massive nose dive from the Cunninghams.
That's got Big Paulie on the back too. There's 100 kilos holding that down. There's another
fluid
one
just sunk in front of us as well. So even where you think it's flat, it's not. It's big potholes out here.
Yeah. So far we've seen 3 or 4 massive nose dives, and these are the front of fleet boats. So I'd imagine the back half of the fleet are going to really have their hands full.
Absolutely.
So we're looking down through the boats there. You can see Moonen, sign-written Spinnaker there. They're looking comfortable, but at the moment they're sitting in about probably 6th place, I think.
And don't forget, Dolly, we got 4 laps of this.
Yes,
they're going to keep coming back up here.
Yeah, it's going to be action aplenty.
There's going to be action aplenty. You picked it early.
Yeah.
And I think that the breeze died off a little bit on that lap.
Made it easy for them.
It made it easy for them.
Yeah. No, we could get another phase of more pressure could come through again, and it's going to be a great day to sit at home on the couch and watch everybody. Or back at the club. Hello to everyone back at St George Skiff Club and Manly Skiff Club. I know we've got a bit of a crowd watching at both clubs. 13 fleet, you can see them making their way through the 16s at the moment.
Cybertech looks like they're leading it just narrowly from Ebix and then Plonk in third.
Yep.
And some very talented sailors in those 13s. Especially having to get upwind through a whole lot of 16s coming downwind in a small channel that is the river here. There's some serious skill in these sailors.
And I can tell you, having one son who'd gone through 13s and one whose daughter still in 13s, the 16s aren't always that kind to them.
That's right.
Mainly on the rigging deck, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, Jimmy, but yeah, sometimes they can be a bit more friendly on the water too. But looking at Moonen there now, they're in a very tight tussle with Imagine Signage.
For the viewers at home, SKE Electrical around the bottom mark.
So what do you reckon they've got? They're at least 20 seconds ahead there.
Yeah. Southerly coming in, looking good.
Looking very good, Southerly. Sarah Lee sailing that boat beautifully with Keegan.
And a great overhead shot there we're looking at now. So that's Southerly dropping the Spinnaker. They're going to take the same right-hand turn that SKE did. And it looks to me like Ace is going to take the left-hand mark along with CJK. Ace early dropping dead in the water.
Yeah.
Very slow. They've allowed CJK to get inside of them.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
CJK is
CJK are going to do a turn. They must have had a little infringement there. Around we go again. Are they going to take this left-hand mark still? Yes, they are.
Oh, well, that's good sportsmanship there. Doing your turns.
Yeah, stay out of trouble. Stay out of the protest room.
Totally.
They
Can't always be solved with beer.
They did come in late there, and I suspect they might have touched their spinnaker pole on the back of ace. Is probably what we would have seen there. Noakes have taken the right. Tugara, they're having a cracker. Closely followed by Red Pumps. Red Pumps made some good gains down there, boys.
Well, I think Sutek here's had a good downwind too, because they're not normally known for their heady wind sailing. So the young blokes here, they're very good in the light stuff.
Got a different sheet hand on board in Will Dargaville, Clint, with James busting himself up.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're going very, very well to get down in that little run there. And, you know, settle themselves down now and take it easy as you go. Here we go.
This could be interesting in front of the camera boat.
Yeah, so we've
inside
got
an MCC.
Insight and Modern Concept.
Now that's a drop for you.
Very tight. Yeah, Insight's got a spinnaker chute, but it doesn't look like that spinnaker wants to go into it at the moment. Oh, we're going to see some action here. Noakes Blue coming to the party as well.
Now, Inside are actually at fault there.
Yeah, well, untidy.
They're untidy and should have done a seaman light rounding, but did not.
Yeah. Young Ryan Ewings, good little gain there on the Noakes Blue on his home track. We had a real gaggle of boats take the left-hand turn. Dominoes at the back of them. Eric Storage, Sail Racing, Swell, Skillcon. They all took that left-hand turn. They've got across to the
Tribeca
sandbar.
was over there as well. They had a big gain downhill.
Yep.
So.
Oh, it's very exciting out here. I'll tell you what, there's action aplenty in this little tiny channel. When you condense all the boats into this tiny area rather than put us out in the bay, it is just action galore. I've got a sort of a swivel neck at the moment.
Yeah. They're running out of runway pretty quick, and they're all in very close quarters, lots of tight crosses. Very hard to plan your strategy, and try and find a clear lane and stay out of trouble.
Well, I think Jimmy's saying the same thing, trying to find a clear lane and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Jimmy's doing a fantastic job of guiding the camera boat through this fleet, I can tell everybody. We're hanging on.
Yes. I'm in a cold sweat.
Don't make it sound like you're too nervous.
I'm in a cold
trying to get other people.
I'm in a cold sweat here, Jimmy.
I'll open the window for you a bit.
So we're just looking at some of the tail enders. I'm suspecting most of these boats we're looking at on camera now have had a swim. We've got Bartley.
One of Shippo's mates, the Kumquat squad, just going
straight through the middle. Cheers, Shippo, if you're watching. We'll say g'day to that fella for you.
The man flew.
Yeah, so we've got Manflu with
Just went
Bartley
down.
and Thurlow Fisher. Manflu's just unfortunately gone down in the jibe. And I suspect that may not be their first swim for the day. I think they might have already had one or two up the top.
There's a small
we've got
tear in the Thurlow Fisher spinnaker.
A little viewing window.
Just to depower it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to worry him in the slightest.
Red Pumps Red, Bruce Savage. Looks like they may have had a swim as well. Looking up at Imey, CJK and Tribeca.
And this chasing fleet are really going hard at them, aren't they? They're trying to drag back SKE, but SKE are just clean pair of heels there.
They've streeted the field.
They are going.
So I'm suspecting if they can keep that boat upright and keep themselves between the opposition, they're looking pretty good. We're on lap 2, so we'll get to the top mark this time. We'll be halfway through. And young Banjo Nicholson and the team, they're doing an exceptional job.
And the Outback Marine did a pretty good job to duck and weave around Imey and Tribeca just then, so...
And I think, look, looking at them now here, Dolly, I think, you know, we called 20... Sorry, we called 20 seconds at the bottom mark. I think they're a good 30 to 40 seconds now in front.
And there's the leaders of the 13s, which is Cybertech Group, which Theo and Kobe Napper, with Ebix hot on the heels.
Looks like Ebix is really charging down on them too there, Jimmy. They've got a bit soft on Cybertech and
Well, where they're going, they've got to be careful. That's where Fireball ran aground just before, so...
Indeed it is.
It gets very shallow.
And I think they're playing the who's going to jibe first game. Could be dangerous.
Always used to love playing that game with Clint.
Yeah, pull the centreboard up, boys.
And the two of them in the 13s have got a substantial lead as well, don't they? It's a long way.
Substantial lead, yeah.
Long way back to third place. Who have we got in third place there with the red Spinnaker, Jimmy? Can you read that number?
Mate, I'm not that good.
It's a Hornsby Karingai boat, I think.
Look,
Looks like an HK on the bottom.
tell you what, I'll pull the cheaters out.
And it just shows you too that the cream of the crop downwind comes to the fore.
Yes.
That is Black Cat in third spot from Hornsby Karingai.
Black Cat, Angus Stewart and Thomas Meacock. Yeah, they're one of the bigger crews too.
As is Kobe Napper. He's a big lad.
Kobe
Mate,
Napper
I
is a
stood
big
next to
fella.
him yesterday. He's taller than me. I was like,
Oh yeah.
you sure you weren't swapped out at the hospital?
Yeah. He's certainly not Robbie Napper's son, is he?
You can take that up with Holly.
He's got in trouble on Jones, isn't he?
I've got in trouble for saying things like that in the past, Clint. So we've just had a report that Cunninghams are on the way back to the club. So
That's a shame. It's a shame to see any of them go early.
they had a very big nosedive, and I suspect they've broken something or somebody, hopefully not somebody, in that big nosedive. Imagine signage.
They're just chipping away, aren't they, imagine?
They're a solid fourth place at the moment, Clint, and they seem to be making up ground. So at the moment we've got our standout leader with SKE, and we've got Sarah Leon Southerly, Ace, and Imagine.
And look, they'll be a little disappointed, but they'll be happy. You know that they're with the fleet. You know they're with the five. When it gets tricky, Nathan will be there.
Heat 1 consistent results, right?
Absolutely. Anything in the top 10 for Heat 1 is good.
Totally. Yeah, consistent results, and look, many people have won national world titles without winning a race.
Totally.
Just keeping in that top group, key to success.
And that's the thing over 7, 8, 9 races. You know, you don't win it in one race. You win it, and it's chip all the time.
Yeah. I was looking at the Taser World results, which are currently on, and they're getting to the pointy end of the regatta, and the leader of that at the moment is Jonathan McKee, Jimmy, an old American 18-footer sailor from my era, and him and Libby, they're leading, and I don't think they've won a race.
Country Comfort, wasn't it?
They did sail the Country Comfort, you're right, mate.
Under the ferry too, by memory.
Originally the Bell Helicopters, which was an interesting campaign, but back to the 16 action.
Well, it looks like SKE is sailing out here by themselves at the moment.
They are, and they've banged this left-hand side again, and they're tacking off the baths at Georges River Sailing Club, and they almost could have ducked in for a beer, I think. But look, Sarah is closing them down a bit at the moment. She's made a bit of ground on this work, and this race certainly isn't over. We're about to hit the halfway mark, and as we saw on that first run, anything can and will happen.
Absolutely. I think I can smell some kebabs over there.
Lamb or beef, mate?
Dolly's got a good in over there. There's Sarah on the screen. Keegan wringing that mainsail's neck.
And look, everyone, you can see Sarah there. She's full leg extension. She's about 50 kilos wringing wet, and she's really driving that boat hard. And she's she can smell the lead. She knows that they're in the hunt for this race, and she's giving chase hard.
Absolutely. They look super comfortable too.
Yeah, good comparison there on the split screen, and you just saw Southerly just pound through a couple of the swells, and as we were saying, you know, it's an easy day in the river today. So look at them just punching through those waves.
And that's the skill of the sailors, but a lot of that is that teamwork, working together. It's all the little things, you know, the forward hand, the sheet hand, the skipper, all working together in that unison that doesn't just happen.
Just for the viewers at home too, just you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, there's a lot of scam posts getting put up for live streams. This is the only official place that you'll actually see this live stream, so don't click on them because more than likely going to end up with a computer virus.
You will get hacked. Yeah, so I messaged a bunch of people last night that I saw that had liked this Skiff Championship, Australian Skiff Championship live. And look, yeah, you've only... I'm surprised people are actually liking the pages, Jimmy, because to me it's blindingly obvious.
Well, you guys had it in the Windsurfer Worlds as well.
They are doing every sailing regatta in Australia at the
Didn't realise that covering sailing was so popular.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Well, I think Jimmy and Dolly have made it popular. So you don't see Jimmy, you don't see Dolly, don't get on it.
Yeah. Hopefully your TV screen doesn't crack. Yeah, Clint's definitely the rose between the two thorns today. The two bearded beasts.
No one said something nice about me like that for years.
So at the moment you're looking at 3, 4, and 5. Ace with the black and yellow logo. CJK with the white, and Imagine signage with the black stripe. And to leeward of Imagine there you can see Imey. So Imey were a bit deep earlier there, but they're making gains. They're slowly chipping away and working their way through the fleet here.
Rob will be riding Treno as hard as he can about, come on, let's go. I know from the many years of sailing with Robbie, like, you know, he was into me non-stop about, don't stop, like, just keep at it.
But the reason they were one of my picks today is also that Hugh Stoddart in any sort of testing conditions.
We have a lead change. We're very subtly crossing SKE Electrical.
Oh my goodness, we've had a lead change.
We're going to get on screen. I said Sarah was giving chase, and there you go. And there's still a bit in this yet because SKE aren't going to lay this top mark.
They are not.
They're going to have to do 2 more tacks. They've just done 1. And there is Southerly. They're now on a starboard lay to this mark, and they're going to have a tight cross here. You're going to see, here we go. SKE will have to pass behind.
Wow.
And they'll tack right on their stern.
Well, that's a 30-40 second gain there. That is amazing.
Oh, and an
Keegan will tell you it's all him.
And an very untidy tack on SKE, which just gave Southerly another 20-30 metres. Here we go. Windward set. Always tricky in these conditions. We're talking the same way. Yeah, but they got it done.
Oh, they're away. Another windward set here. Oh no, he's shoot there.
SKE around. Let's see how their set unfolds.
No, they're going. They're good. And the guys would be starting to get tired now.
Oh, come on, but mate, we're only halfway through.
I know, but they'd be getting tired.
Ready for a lie down, you think?
I'm ready for a lie down.
Third around will be the Moonin Yachts.
Moonin have done very well. I think they were maybe 10th or 12th around the top mark.
They're up to third now.
Yep. Exceptional sailing.
And they were getting a bit loose on that last run too, so...
Next is Ace, and then the little General, Lee Napton on the Noakes.
Gee, they've got some Vangies there, boys. Nice and safe.
Nice and safe. Going there, and excellent sets from the top end of the fleet here.
Next around will be CJK, followed by Sail Racing. This is super tight here, and here's Swell, who they raced at Manly the other week, Clint, and got some wheels on that boat, I tell you.
They certainly do.
They are quick.
Imagine signage next around. red pumps, and then Imey.
So where's that put Imagine? They're around 8th, 9th, is it?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th, mate.
Yeah.
I think they're in 9, red pumps around in 10, and Imey have hit the mark, folks. Not everything going their way today.
Sutek next around, and then Skelcon, then Tagara, and then next around will be Eric's Storage. So then Tribeca will be the next after that, and Tribeca quick off a breeze, not so quick upwind, so they've got to have a look at something there.
It's something to go back to the homework yards tonight. Check that out, make sure you get it right.
Well, I think it'd be important because tomorrow is shaping up to be very much like today. Get on down to the bottom mark.
Just looking at some of the boats who are sort of bringing up the tail. We've got Fluid and Contender Sailcloth, who are two boats who I wasn't expecting to see back in the fleet a little bit, but they've obviously been checking the water temperature.
I'll get Piers to bring the camera around forward. Ace has got no spinnaker. I wonder what's happened to them. There they are.
Oh yeah, we've had problems. And that's a real shame for them because they were going very, very well. St George boat leading the way.
Yeah. So we're looking down at the red spinnaker there of red pumps. Tyler Dransfield. We're just trying to see if we can see what's going on with Ace. The forward hand seems to be madly trying to sort something out near the side stays there, Jimmy.
Is that the whisker wire?
Yes, it's a broken wire. It's a broken wire.
Yeah, side wire, or maybe it's just come out, the pin's come out.
You're not going to get that back in.
You're not going to get that back in with any tension on it, that's for sure.
But if you can, you're stronger than Mackie.
Absolutely.
I think Mackie could probably get it back in, I would think, yeah.
And when these boats go together, they are put together with some force, and there's a lot of tension on these wires. You know, bowl wires, masts, you know, they're not something that go together easily, especially when you're bouncing around in the water.
Here's some action. Sutek jibing. How are they going to go?
Sort of forced to jibe there.
They were with the boat who's just sort of limping back to the club, I think. Fantastic jibe from Red Pumps under pressure. Really well picked there.
Skelcon's got a belter down the middle there.
Yeah.
Absolute belter.
Looking at them
They're
now.
just about to take 3 boats.
So they're on the same pressure that Red Pumps jibed onto, and Sutek and Imey just left it a little bit late and missed the edge of that gust. Imagine Signage just picking it up now with CJK and Sail Racing. So we've had a bit of a mixed bag early on in this race, but the cream's rising to the top, isn't it?
It always does, yeah. I won't say I'm not surprised that Imagine aren't going a little better than they are, but I think, you know, as the day wears on, we'll get another couple of laps in, they'll take advantage of what's there.
Yeah, look, not their lineup with where they usually have Pagey, and look, they've got a fantastic fill-in, but even when you have the best sailors, if you haven't sailed before,
True.
you come out in these sort of conditions, it takes a long time for you to just find your feet, gel a bit. Yeah, that's right.
That's a great shot of Noakes there, belting downwind.
The amount of gap that Subblies around the bottom mark for the viewers at home, the amount of gap that they've opened up on SKE Electric, I'd like to probably see guys in SKE pull the board, check it for weed, check the rudder, keep wiggling along, because that's a significant amount of time lost.
There's definitely something that slowed them down from early on in the race to now.
Yeah. Could be weed, could be a bag, could be could be something caught on their fins.
Jelly blobbers.
Yeah, no shortage of jellyfish down here, but usually they get chopped up, right? Especially in this sort of wind condition. So what are we looking at there? About 60 metres or maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
So they're splitting at the bottom, Marky, with Noakes going starboard mark and Moonen going around. They're going back up the tower there, but I seem to think to the right-hand side of the track there just seems to be more breeze.
Yeah, you might be right, Clint, at the moment at least, and maybe Daniel Turner and the boys have sniffed something out. They're seeing the same thing you are, mate. Yeah. Yeah, Felix Gretsch in Sail Racing along with CJK. They're
Thinking
gonna,
the same thing.
Yeah, they're going to follow Moonen out to that right-hand side looking upwind. They've taken the left-hand turn. Swell and Skelcon also looking at the same, while Red Pumps and Imagine, they're going to take the right-hand turn. Imagine just tucking that chute away. You can see them there now, and they'll harden up. The kite's not quite away. A little bit untidy there, but... and then the young legends on the Shootech. Look at them go.
Oh, look at them go.
Look at them go.
Yeah.
They'll tell you all about it later on.
Yeah. They're having it. And one thing you can be sure, they'll be laughing, carrying on.
Yeah.
They're always having a good time, the Shootech boys.
Good bunch of
Great
young
bunch
blokes.
of young blokes.
That's because they're sponsored by Steve-O. He likes a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
I did say to the boys that Steve-O, apparently I got sent a post that Steve-O had a little win on the pokies. He said it's a good time to now ring up and ask for a new headsail.
Yeah, get some new sails while he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Tribeca just getting a bit untidy here at the bottom. There we are now. Very untidy rounding there, so they dropped a bit of time on that turn, but
at least they kept it clean, Dole. You know, it's always was one of my pet peeves. I know it definitely was one of Robbie Napper's pet peeves, is when the skipper decided to spin the wheel at the bottom mark and
regardless,
cover you in spinnaker and
get the jobs done first.
Yeah,
then do your turns.
Yeah, throw away a boat length or two. And
modern concept you're looking at there. They've got the spinnaker chute, so it just disappears down the hole at the front of the boat, nice and easy and clean.
Benny Brunnages in the Newcastle Financial Planning Group.
FPG and Ryan Ewing's in the Noakes Blue. He's just tucked around and made a little one-place gain there, and I suspect he might tack out of there shortly just to get a bit of a clear lane.
Yeah, I think he's just got to get some boat speed up and then look for his line.
And some vang on. Pull your vang on, Ryan, if you can hear me.
In his sleep tonight, he'll be hearing it.
And a lot of this sailing is when you're going well, there's a good vibe on the boat. And like Jimmy was saying there, the skipper doesn't just turn it, things go wrong, the crew talks amongst themselves, and you keep the vibe strong.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the castle. It's the vibe of the thing.
It's the vibe.
Yeah.
And if the elephant's trunk's up, the spinnaker will come down. That's right.
Hopefully.
We just had the fire truck, fire stopping on screen there. They were a bit back, and they've made some gains. They're chipping away back into the fleet. See if they can get a nice clean drop here. Meanwhile, the fluid looked like they were coming for the right-hand gate, but they've done a quick jibe and they're going to come in and drop, take the left-hand gate.
Yeah, I think it's time the fluid made their move if I'm going to get the money.
It's the only reason you're down here, is that Clint, to grab the prize money?
Yeah.
Just consolidating.
Yeah, just consolidate,
Yeah.
Checking out the course.
So Tribeca just with a loose cover over in FPG, just making sure that they don't get any shifts that they don't. So those are the boats that took the left-hand turn at the bottom, went over to the southern shore. Now they've tacked out, and yeah, I think the breeze has built a little bit here, Clint.
It has. I just think down this right-hand side of the course, it just seems a bit stronger. There was some major gains on the right. Unlike normal, when we're heading into the left-hand shore, it's normally the winner.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. The guys who on the downwind who jibed a bit earlier seemed to have the bigger gain. The guys who went right down onto the Ramsgate shore jibed late. They were a bit soft.
Found a bit soft coming out.
Yeah.
And that's the balance, isn't it, on a day like today, is you want to keep it upright, but you need to be chasing pressure all the time.
Yeah. You can be too conservative.
You can be too conservative.
Yeah. But like we were saying, it's heat one. Get some runs on the board.
Yep.
And there's the leader of the 13s, Ebix, who can't even see who's in second in the 13s at the moment.
And I've got to say the lead 13s, even though they gave the 16s about 6-7 minutes head start, and their top mark is a little bit shorter, but they're starting to lap some of the 16s here, some of the back markers in the 16s.
And the Hoppos, the Ebix are they're consistent performers.
They do like the breeze.
They do like it.
Yeah, great boat handlers, defending champions. So they'll be more than happy to, with a lead like that, just make sure they consolidate it and get the runs on the board.
And I'm glad they are too. I think a few weeks ago I might have had a little collision with the Ebix, so it's good to see they're still going after I blessed them.
I remember that.
Yeah. I might as well just put my hand up and say I'm sorry.
I believe you didn't even tell them you were coming aboard.
Well, I bought drinks.
There was no warning.
Yeah.
Second in the 13s is just capsized, which was cheeky. And then, so second is a close one between Black Cat and Fluid, the 13-foot skiff.
Go the Fluid.
I've got to say, quite a gain from them too. I thought Ebix had a huge lead, but they did have a big lead last time down. So yeah, Fluid and the Black Cat, they're going well. And I was saying the Black Cat, pretty big experienced crew in the 13 from Hornsby. They're having an absolute belter.
A couple of big kids on there too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Angus Stewart and Tom Meacock on the Black Cat from Hornsby, and they've got two brothers sailing on another 13. But Angus previously won the New South Wales Championship in the 13 a few years back, and got second in the Nationals. So they're long term. They've been sailing the 13s for quite some time, and hopefully. At some stage, we'll see them step up and jump into a 16 at some stage. They've certainly gained some good experience sailing the 13.
Yeah, we had where are they? Just there, one of the 13 crews that have just jumped into a 16 that are sailing up Manly from Hornsby Ku-ring-gai as well, Dole. So
yeah, that'd be Alex Stewart. Yeah, so he's on Smash. And yeah, they're a Hornsby crew, but they're now sailing at Manly, and new to the 16 class. But yeah, plenty of experience that they came through with the 13s, and yeah, the Stewart's well-known family from Hornsby Ku-ring-gai, came right through the flying 11s, etc., and into the skiffs.
And it's exciting to see the other clubs joining, like having Hornsby joining, the more established clubs.
Yeah, Hornsby were looking for a pathway for their kids to go from the juniors, and that was sort of a bit missing. They used to sail the VS class, Vaucluse Senior at Hornsby, and numbers were dwindling, so they were looking for somewhere for the kids to go, and the 13 was the answer, and they're loving it. We've just had the Bartley 13. They've just gone down as well.
And a lot of these, the 16s are a bit daunting. There's a lot of great sailors there. You've got the sponsorship on. It's a bit daunting for some of the kids. So to have that pathway through, is an excellent move across the board.
Yeah, good stepping stone.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the guys from Hornsby Ku-ring-gai are hoping in a couple of years' time to be a recognised 16ft club.
Are they?
So you know they're really working hard. They're you know at the moment they're sending them either to Belmont or to Manly to get the experience, and hopefully they'll go back to the Hornsby Ku-ring-gai club.
Well, that's excellent. It's excellent foresight too to have that.
NFPG, they're chipping back to that left-hand side again. Just trying to keep sniffing out those coming across, get headed, come back out on the port hand lift. And, you know, we're saying pressure on the right. At the moment, there's beautiful pressure on the left.
There is. Yep.
Beautiful pressure off Georges River Sailing Club. And that's the boats that we're looking at now. That's exactly where they're heading. They've spotted that breeze and they're trying to be the first ones there to pick up a bit of ground on their opposition. Tribeca just taking on a fleet of jet skis there. Always a familiar sight at Botany Bay.
It's a great sight, isn't it?
And I think you can just see it in the distance there. The Noakes have actually crossed the Moonin. So as you're looking downhill, that right-hand mark did pay.
Yeah.
Or working up the left-hand side, especially in close to the River Club here, which is more traditionally how it would work.
You're saying I was right and you were wrong, Clint?
Yes, you were right.
You took the right, didn't you? I'll take that.
Well done, Dolly.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
That swell on the screen at the moment. Same again, just looking for those little gains, just coming back over to the left. Just saw the other boats in the back of screen there, crossing back on port. They're just coming back over to this this shore and looking for those gains. If they go too far at the moment, the breezes clock quite a long way left. They'll almost overstand on Port Tacky.
And look, you need to be careful here because that little general's just, he's making some moves. And as the race goes on, he's smelling the peace pipes coming off the shore and he'll know when he gets the right scent where to go.
Yeah. You'll smell the halal snack pack.
Yes, he will.
God, I'm glad I'm not sharing cars with you, bloke.
So there's Domino's back on Port Tack. So they're off the Georges River Sailing Club shore. Quite a lot of left hand in this breeze now, Clint.
There is, absolutely.
A lot of shift to this left hand side, and where the boats were tacking earlier and underlaying the mark, we're now even overstanding it. So for my money, Swell, Imey, might be Tribeca, all overstanding, and we've just had the leader come around the top mark. I'm pretty sure that's Southerly once again.
Still Southerly. Still Southerly. SKE, and I'd say Noakes have worked their way now into third.
Now you'll see Southerly here just bouncing through the waves as they make their way downwind. The pictures don't really do justice for how bumpy it is there.
No, we're hanging onto the bars here.
Yeah. See them just trying to keep the bow up. They just had a little rag of the spinnaker just to ease them through a wave, just lift the bow just for that split second. Great crew work. As I say, those guys know this patch of water really well. SKE giving chase. And they're Belmont boys. They're not quite used to this lump, but they're doing a fantastic job. And look at that, they're up the back of the bus there, aren't they?
They certainly are right at the back. And the skipper called him to come back further.
Super impressed with how Banjo Nicholson's sailing today.
Is he 15?
He might be 16 now, 16. I think. He's certainly a very young man. And the Nicholson name, obviously, very famous sailing name with his father Chris, and also his uncle Darren, very accomplished sailors. And good genes in that family.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of courage, you know, like you say, Dolly, you don't actually see it, how rough it is out here and how windy it is. And, you know, there's a lot of courage for those kids to drive these big boats downhill.
Yeah, especially when they've done most of their sailing at Belmont and Lake Macquarie. It's this is like sailing in the ocean by comparison.
Sure.
Moonan, they're around clean, Spinnaker drawing, and they've got Swell hot on their heels. This is going to be a cracking Spinnaker run.
Oh.
No better man to work a Spinnaker than Matty Stenter.
Just ask him.
Super experienced and yeah, very reliable.
So they're all going to go deep into that shore there with that breeze going around.
Yeah, at the moment the breeze, a bit more pressure in the northern side of the bay at the moment. Sail racing, just getting over that pile there. Swell hot on their heels. CJK.
They're having a cracking race, and I'm really impressed with sail racing. Actually, I mean, if they can go a top 5 here today, that's going to be brilliant for them.
Puts them in good stead for
Absolutely.
what we were talking about with the forecast later in the week.
Just in the background of that shot there is a boat capsized, and I believe it is the Noakes.
Oh, the little general's gone down.
Uh-oh. Certainly is, Jimmy.
And that just shows you, doesn't it? Like, Lee's sailed this all his life. And
Not all his life. He was originally a Manly boy when he was younger.
oh, that's right. He came and won all these titles at Manly. Knocked us off.
Oh, in the Flying 11s, he sailed out of Manly.
I did too.
Had a really good forward hand in there.
So I'm sorry
Well, he knows the real estate down here. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
Yes. Back up and ready to rehoist, but wow. That was a not exactly sure what happened there, and we're guessing a nosedive. Unless maybe that Spinnaker halyard blew out of the cleat or something, but and they've also torn a little window in their Spinnaker as well. Nothing too serious. But that's
And we're looking at the fleet here. That one capsize cost him 6 boats, is it?
yeah, at least 5.
Third to 8th, 9th. He's got it up pretty quick, actually. The guys have done very well there.
He's done well. They're now giving chase to Imey, Red Pumps and Imagine.
That's a great overhead shot of those boats blasting downhill.
So obviously that's you're looking at Red Pumps and Imagine signage there. Imagine signage, the defending Australian champions. And young Tyler Dransfield in Red Pumps, last year's New South Wales champion. So the two big silverware holders there going toe to toe.
And this top end of the fleet, this sort of 8, 9 boats here, really pulled away from the rest of the fleet.
Yeah, the entire fleet's really thinned out on this lap, but quite a few people have got themselves into trouble. CJK, they've got themselves back onto Port Jibe, and it's a bit of a one-way track here downwind at the moment, isn't it?
It is a bit. I mean, if you get lucky and go, I mean, Noakes have gone early on Imey here, and it's a race for the other shore.
But if you don't really roll that dice, there's no passing lanes, is there?
Not unless you nosedive.
Yes. Certainly helps if the opposition fall over.
Southerly is well and truly around the bottom mark, with SKE Electrical just coming to the bottom marks now. Not on screen, or there they are, they're right up the top of your screen. If you're watching on a big TV, you'll be able to see that.
Just looking into the glare. So we've got swell jibing onto what maybe they may not lay the gate from there. They might have 2 more jibes left in them yet, I think. But both them and Swell and CJK look like they've just had a little jibe into some pressure, and we've just seen
Just had a collision.
screen there.
Just had a
213s having a little bit of a bingle.
yeah. There's a
Port starboard, was it?
port starboard.
No, they look to be both on the same tack, but maybe one of them had just tacked really
Looked like
late.
an emergency tack to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, so that was Harkin and another boat. Sorry, we can't confirm who the other boat was, but one of them was Harkin.
And it's still manic out here. There's still a lot going on. We've lost some footage, haven't we?
Yeah, we're just having a few little transmission issues here, viewers. Sorry, but we're back.
SKE, Moon and Sail Racing in 4th. And there's SJK, I'm calling it 6th.
6 behind Swell. Swell will be 5th.
CJK.
CJK, sorry, not SJK. There is boats on their sides, just littered all over the bay at the moment. And I wouldn't say at the moment it's super fresh, so I think people are just getting tired and making mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So it's always good when you have a fresh first race. It's a battle of attrition then for the next 8 races.
And Jeepers Creepers, I'm looking out the window at the moment. You could almost walk from one side of the bay to the other on the jellyfish. That we're,
Give it a go, Dom.
have a look at it.
I'll film you.
It's insane.
And a shout out to all the cyclists that are watching today.
Cyclists?
I know there's at least 5.
At least 5.
At
Talk
least
about
5.
cycling, Bozo.
Yeah.
Are you still doing the Tour de Cure?
I am still doing the Tour de Cure. We're still supporting and looking for a cure for cancer. So
When's your next event, mate?
We're riding in March, going from Hobart to Adelaide.
Very good. And people want to jump on and support the worthy cause. How do they do that?
Hey, best way is the website, and not just financially. If you want to get involved, if you want to ride, if you want to just help out and do some jobs, and we're always looking for people to support us. So, like I said, not financially, just helping out and doing jobs. There's a whole army of people who help out and organise it. So, you know, it's super worthwhile. And I know in the 10 years that I've been doing it, or tight call there between Sutek
In Tagara?
it certainly made me a better person.
Real credit to you, Clint. When Clint says there's an army of people that help out, Clint is the general of the army more often than not. So, it's a great cause, and hopefully one day we can find a cure, at least to some of the cancers out there.
Please.
And
I know.
I can know
Personal.
I know firsthand what a fantastic medical system we have, and we're very lucky in this country. But we're losing too many soldiers.
We are, and good ones.
Yeah. So Tribeca, bit untidy in that rounding, nearly took out the Eric storage in the process. There were some pretty loose roundings there. Who was that other one that we saw zig and zag around someone's tail? Was that Tugara?
Tugara and Sutek.
Yeah.
I think that'll get sorted out in the bar.
They were getting pretty loose. And just looking down there, we've got
Cybertech group on the stream.
they're coming into the finish here, Jimmy.
They're right in the way. So sorry, boys.
But we did get them on camera. Great work, chaps.
That's called a flyby.
Great chap. Great work. Up close and personal. Next round we'll have the fluid nice and tidy, hopefully. Here we go. There they are. Round they go. Awesome. There's the fluid now.
So Cybertech's crossed. They're not. EVIX have obviously finished.
Yeah, we would think so. And apologies to everyone at home that we didn't get them on camera.
EBIX is
coming
still coming down the run.
Yep.
They're still coming, are they?
They're still coming.
So we think that the Cybertech
They've won the race.
have got the chocolates for the 13-foot skiffs.
And apologies, you know, if you can see on the camera, it's manic for you, it's manic for us. There is
we've got a bit
boats
on
everywhere.
We've got a bit on today.
Absolutely everywhere.
So we're looking at Ebix over there without a spinnaker, boys. Is that what
No, they've got the spinnaker up. They're
Oh,
just
they're up there.
off Dole's
Okay.
Point, just coming down.
I must have had a swim.
I'm just looking at this other 13 here, but I'm guessing they might be a lap behind.
That looks like Bigfoot there, is it?
Ebix just going over the top of one of the NHS 16ft Skiff, just to give you an idea how quick the 13s do move.
So we've just seen a 13 roll a 16.
Yeah.
They are motoring.
They are. Giving it what for.
The Ebix has got some wheels there, but yeah, something's obviously must have gone amiss there because yeah, the Cybertech really got a march on them, and they had a handy lead before, didn't they?
Certainly did. They've got to have swum. There's no other way. And you can see what happens. You swim, you're losing minutes.
Yeah, yeah, especially on the run, which is where you usually swim. Everyone else is flying.
And the hard part for them too, Clint, is if they run aground, it takes twice as long.
Twice as long, totally. Yeah, aside from the fact that you're concerned about the boat, you know, damage has been done.
Good to see the employment hero boys still upright and getting around the track and not in too bad a shape. That'll be a nice little result for them.
Good on you, boys.
One more lap to go. So we're just going to the top for the last time. This will be our fourth lap. I think we're looking down on Sutek there. Just trying to get as Jimmy was saying, we've literally just got boats everywhere here at the moment. And
they're everywhere.
The camera crew's doing their best to find the boats in the fleet. We're looking at Sutek there and Domino's. They're in the top 10 at the moment. Can't tell you their exact places because we literally have boats going everywhere.
And boats getting lapped and...
Yeah.
Yep. It will all make sense at the end.
Well, when they cross the finish line,
when we show the results tomorrow, it'll make perfect good sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for the viewers at home, Southerly is still leading, followed by SKE Electrical. In third spot, I believe, is Moon and Yachts, followed by Sail Racing, then Swell. Then it'll be close between CJK, Imagine Signage, Red Pumps, and IME. So that's the chasing pack.
Super tight in that sort of 4 to 8. Yeah, super tight. Everyone at home there, you throw a blanket over the lot of them. And
which when they get round the top mark, they'll be pushing hard because they'll want the place.
Yeah.
So the balance of game will form. Do I swim or do I push?
Every place makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And actually, coming out of the right-hand side, the boat that's actually probably made the biggest gain into that group is IME.
Yeah.
So I would expect IME to be in around, what would they be, 4th or 5th?
5th.
Yeah. So we've got Swell in front of them still. So yeah, probably about 5th place. But as I just pertain to, there is a group of probably 5 or 6 boats where, yeah, they could be 5th or 6th, or they could be out of the 10.
Yeah,
so,
throw the blanket over them at the moment.
A lot riding on this sort of last 500 metres of the beat.
And suddenly it's just bursting away.
Yeah, look, if Southerly can remain mistake-free, they're going to take this out. What a fantastic result for that team. They've been thrown together for this regatta. They've had a couple of club races under their belt. You know, we were telling you about their experience earlier. Obviously, 3 very talented sailors, but wow, sailing against the best of the best on a challenging day, and they've put it together.
Seen Kurt yesterday walking around in the park limping, and I was like, oh, but apparently it's a niggling injury, and he's their problem yesterday was they ripped the tack line cleat off the floor of the boat, so it makes it a bit hard to sail around with that.
Yeah.
That sounds like Trent Barnabas's trick.
Yeah, too strong.
Yeah, too strong.
Every time he filled in for me, I always went and bought a brand new main sheet and a main sheet block.
Yeah, that's right. Add more carbon to the boat, please.
Yeah.
So that shot with SKE, and they've just gone out of shot there, you could see Moonan. Our camera angle makes it look a bit further than it is. You know, Moonan's not out of this for second place yet. When they tack and come back, they'll probably be behind SKE, but it won't be by much.
No.
Lot riding on this next downwind run, and Sail Racing, they've come right back into it, right back into this. So all to play for, but at the moment we've got Southerly comfortably in front, and barring disaster, should take the win.
And here we go, the last time round the top mark, gentlemen. It's when it gets interesting.
What's normally going through your head, Bozo, when we get into this last top mark? Is one of the best skippers around the time?
Please, can I get to the bottom mark? Please, and look, you're actually probably saying a few little prayers to say, mate, please don't fall apart. You know, nothing break. And like any sport, you know, it could be bike riding, it could be go-kart racing, it could be anything. You just want everything to hold together.
Yeah, and different people have different takes on it too. Some people don't like to change anything, and they'll still go full send on the run. Yeah. Whereas others, like myself, you might take a little bit more of a conservative approach and just try to rein it in a little bit.
Ease it.
Yeah.
Ease it down. Yeah.
Keep things together, keep it cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sully have got such a good lead here that they could afford to sail if they wanted for a bit. You know,
yeah,
they won't. They won't.
But yeah, just don't push the limits too hard.
Correct.
Find yourself that flat spot to jibe in, and
yeah,
keep an eye out over your shoulder. Just stay in the pressure.
Yeah, jibe when you can, not when you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
and there's second
Southerly looking background. Yeah. Bit of glare, but yeah, we're looking back down the course. So
that's a lovely shot of a 16-foot skiff going uphill. Well done, guys.
And doing it very well.
Doing it very well.
Okay, so they're tacking onto the ley line for this top mark. They've got about 100 metres to go to this top mark, and yeah, I think we'll see them just conservatively get this around, nice and comfortable, easy set.
And it's still bumpy, Dolly. It's still pretty bumpy out there.
And we've got a nice little vein of pressure coming through here now. They're going to get this kite up and have a nice ride down towards the Georges River shore on starboard tack.
And you can see here Sarah's just working those waves, just up and down, just trying to keep that boat flat, sitting it on that windward chine. You know, there's quite an art when the sheet hand and the skipper are working together.
Yeah, her and Keegan have obviously got that combination together in a very short space of time, sailing the boat brilliantly. And you just saw there, folks, the punching through those waves. Even in the drone shot there, look at those waves that they're having, the water coming over the deck. So this bear away is critical.
She's just setting up there. Sarah's setting up.
No rush.
Fang off. Cano's off.
And away we go. Spinnaker going up. Windward set.
Find a spot. Having Keegan there would be, you know, fabulous in terms of getting in the back of the bus, getting it settled, let the forward hand do his work.
There's the chasing pack of SK Electrical, Moonan and Sail Racing. And the Eric's removals is getting lapped there.
They're a lap behind,
to the left of screen.
And this chasing pack's really done some, you know, built their work into SKE here, where SKE had such a massive lead, you know, early in the race. But there's still time here. There's Moonan are very, very close to SKE.
I think what we might do, we might go down with this pack for a second, and we'll keep an eye on the Southerly, and we'll try and
catch the finish, eh?
Catch the finish of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just get these last couple of boats coming around the top mark. Pretty even spacing here, but sail racing next around. And then just off screen, just to let the viewers know, we've got the next in the order will be Swell, Imagine Signage, IMI, Red Pumps, CJK, Sutec and Noakes. So that's pretty much your top 10, folks. And look, the form guide we were talking about earlier, pretty much are the boats that we've just mentioned. Inside Tagara, Dominoes and Skelcon, the next little bunch. Fantastic skiff racing out here on the bay today. Next behind that group we've got Fluid and Eric's with Modern Concept Constructions. So that sort of rounds out our top 15.
So a bit of kudos there to Eric Storage and Tenny. You know, these boats are supported mostly by people who are involved in the class, and you know, they're always behind us. I mean,
very long-term supporter of sailing, Peter Timlin, and obviously a stalwart of the Middle Harbour Skiff Club. Absolutely. Well, some big waves there for the SKE to punch through. And that's with us getting a little bit further down the river where it's not so bumpy.
And Moona are inside them here. They're inside them, they're behind them, but inside them, they're not far off them.
So what do you think, Clint? Would you jive with them? Would you jive early? Or
I would actually jive early if I
try and encourage them to go with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're trying to sail him into nothing and then you want to jive on pressure.
Exactly,
And if you can just get close, that's what you want to do.
Trying to force an error.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get them sweating a little bit.
Okay, here we go.
So they've jived with them.
Beautiful jive from both boats there. Yeah. So nothing lost, nothing gained there. And you can see the SKE boys there feeling the heat.
Yeah, they can feel them there.
Yeah. Moona just starting to roll over the top of them.
They are starting to roll them there. They're just starting to affect them mentally more than anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just sort of tense up a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Every move that you do when you got someone, especially like Moon, breathing down your neck.
Breathing down your neck, that's for sure. And like I say, try and force them into a nervous mistake.
Yeah.
It's a great shot, boys. 2 16s going hell for leather at probably 18 knots there.
Yeah. Well, Moon just had to stuck behind that skiff coming uphill, which doesn't seem to have hurt him. I think is he in a roll position there? I think he's rolled him.
Yeah, so on the split screen there, we've got Southerly. They've got one jibe into the finish here.
I don't even think they have a jibe, Dole.
You think they're going to lay through? They might get there on... No, yeah, here we go. They're going to jibe.
Oh, sorry, I got the wrong boat in my head. Looking down the front of the boat.
Yeah, so Moonan's got him there now.
So Southerly take the win. So what a fantastic performance from Sarah Lee, Keegan York and Kurt Warner.
Massive round
I think I could hear Lorraine from the George Sailing Club now.
You beat me to it, Jimmy. I'm sure Lorraine will be over the moon, jumping for joy.
Well done, well done. That was excellent sailing.
Glenn, proud parents. So St George stalwarts. So congratulations to Southerly, and that's didn't get a time on that, but at the moment we're probably looking at well over 30 seconds to these following boats.
They're going to go straight to the line here. There's going to be no driving. It's just Moonan have motored down that run.
So Moonan got the gain, passed over the top. SKE had to jibe here. They probably didn't have to. They could have crossed through, but they had to throw something at Moonan.
So SKE's third. It's a great result. It's a great result. First race of the Nationals.
Yeah, both keepers for all these boats.
He's racing, coming home for fourth.
Coming in for fourth place. They might throw in a jibe here, though they don't need to, but they do need to go back in that direction to the club.
They'll be very happy with that.
Little jibe drop. Yeah. Super result from those boys.
Absolutely, brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, my ones to watch this week. Wishing the boys good luck.
How's the battle shaping up here? You got Imagine signage, IME, then you got the two blue shoots down here.
That's Swell.
Swell and
That's Eric's.
Yeah, that's the other blue is Eric's, but yeah, coming up behind we've got Red Pumps and Noakes, and the other one would be Sutec. So we're just looking at Imagine there at the moment. Going to be fairly tight between them and Swell, because Swell is on a port lay for the finish. Imagine is going to have to put a jibe in.
Yeah, I think Swell might have them, yeah.
I think Swell's got them, yeah.
Well, I've been wrong before.
Hold your tickets, folks.
Hold your tickets. There we go. Imagine jibed.
Jimmy's got us in a great position here.
Oh, there he goes. Going real close.
So looking at Swell there.
Swell are motoring.
Swell are going to take this.
They are. There they go. There you go. I got 1 out of 2.
Great result for those boys. Keeper. Imagine.
And a great result for Imagine too.
Yeah, and
they were well back.
Yeah, and a good comeback from Ivy too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
brilliant. And this is a good result for Red Pumps.
Great result for Red Pumps.
There must be a close one between Noakes and Red Pumps.
Yeah, I think Noakes have got it.
Noakes for mine.
There's Red Pumps on screen.
Oh, that is tight. Oh, I don't want to call that.
I think Noakes by a whisker, by a nose. Next up, we've got Sutec.
Steve will be very happy with that.
Another real close one coming up between CJK but it's just gone to Domino's.
Yeah, well, these St George boats have done well. Very well.
Yeah, good mix.
Very good mix. It's a good mix across the fleet of all the clubs.
Yeah, we've got some Belmont boats right up there. We've got some St George boats. Skillcon next through. Then we'll have Tommy Clout and the boys in Tugara. Great result. Those guys are, let's say, wild cards. We'll call them a wild card.
We'll call them wild cards.
Not that much of a wild card, and it's probably one of the longest running names of a boat.
Oh, the boat for sure, but
Tugara is
three very good sailors.
Famous.
But three very good sailors, Jimmy, that are really capable of giving this regatta a bit of a shake-up. We've got Insight with just nipping the fluid there. Nice comeback from
fast
the fluid.
finishing fluid. Yeah, no, they did well. They found their groove.
They're pretty deep there at one point.
Well, I actually think they'll get better as the regatta goes on.
Yeah,
they haven't sailed much together.
Yeah. NFPG with the next through, closely followed by Eric's that we're looking at there now. Eric's Middle Harbour. Eric's Storage. Next coming in, we've got Modern Concept Constructions. So
it's a disappointing result for Modern Concept.
Yeah, still not too bad. They're not a bad result. They won't be too disappointed.
Do you think their slightly bigger second rig has affected them today?
Maybe today.
Yeah.
yeah, early on, possibly, but yeah.
I know they're happy with it.
They are happy.
They are happy with it, that's for sure.
Well, you've got to try things in the class. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's a different view looking up the channel there now. There's a lot less boats.
Yes. Yeah. So
Still as many
Tribeca and Noakes Blue.
Yeah,
Who's your money on here?
I think
Tribeca.
Tribeca's got it. Yeah.
Your mate Gilly won't speak to you, Dol.
No, good.
Last minute job.
Ryan doing a
Rolling in
great
there.
job.
Beautiful.
Once again, 2 more St George boats.
Yep.
That are,
So it just shows you the strength now of the new club, you know, the support, and you know if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing too, Clint, like we've really noticed is the level of the whole fleet has lifted. Like it's not just, you know, Manly and St George, it's the whole fleet, you know, like
Across
it's
the board.
It's been a really good thing, you know, like it's, you know, like a bit like you were on the Australian Association when I was on there as well. You know, you want to leave it in a better place than you found it, and you know, the new boats I think is a big key contributor to it, and you know, Manly this year pumped a lot of extra money into the 13s, the Flying 11s, Manly Juniors, just to try and secure our future and future-proof the place a little bit better for everyone. So.
And do you think there's any sort of sharing of information amongst the boats or amongst the classes, or?
Oh, look, I can speak on behalf of the fire stopping boys. You know, the likes of Imagine Signage, IME. You know, you're not talking the bottom of the fleet guys. They're over there giving the young
Some
guys
tips.
on the fire stopping plenty of tips and help.
Yeah.
You know, like Mal Page has been out for a sail on the fire stopping with them to help him out. Robbie's done the same before his injury.
Yep.
You know, just it's the camaraderie is there, and I think it's probably stronger than it's ever been.
Well, it's good, isn't it? Because it only makes the top end stronger when they're bringing the bottom end up and helping them get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and that camaraderie, like you say, amongst the clubs, you know, now we'll all go inside, and there's probably been incidents on the water. We'll all go inside, we'll have a beer, and we'll celebrate, you know, how lucky we are to be sailing out here in this, you know, beautiful wind and water with good mates.
Yeah, worst places to be, isn't it?
There's certainly worse places to be, Jimmy.
So Will Howard was the next boat through just now.
Contender.
Just be in contender sailcloth, just nipping the
fire
stopping with Alex Hart.
So what we might do, we might wrap up proceedings there. The day belonged to Sutherley, Sarah Lee, fabulous job. Closely followed by Moonan, then SKE, Sail Racing, Swell, Imagine, IME, Noakes, Red Pumps, Sutec, Dominoes, and that about wraps it up from there. And well done to the Cybertech group guys in the 13-foot skiffs. We'll go in and catch up with both of them, and
Theo and Kobe. Yeah, we'll have a chat to them, will we, Jimmy?
yeah, we'll go in and have a chat with them, and keep an eye out on the socials for that interview later on. Thank you very much for coming out, Clint. Always a pleasure to have you on board a boat with me. I learn a lot. Man of a lot of knowledge, and spent many of years battling against you, but always good.
And now we're working together.
That's good.
And he's good looking too.
He's good. He is a good looking
He's a
bloke.
rooster.
Come on, you blokes. Come on, you blokes. Come on. It's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to be out with you guys. Thanks very much for having me, guys.
And,
All the hard work the team's doing. Fabulous.
Yep, and well, thanks, Dol, and we'll see you here tomorrow. Don't forget, viewers, at earlier start, we'll be live from about 1:40 for tomorrow's races 2 and 3. There's 2 races tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Change your diary. If you've got the usual broadcast time of 2:05, change it a bit earlier, or else you'll join us while we're racing. So 1:35 we are live from it. So tune into all your favourite channels. Remember, do not click on those malicious ones in any of our posts, because they will not take you to what we are doing. They'll take you to somewhere else, which will be
Take your money.
Take your money. But well, thanks again to Clint, Dolly, Chits, Piers, Dylan and Sammy. Awesome job as always back there, guys, in very difficult conditions. So we will see you here tomorrow for heats 2 and 3 of the Australian 16-foot and 13-foot skiff national titles.